Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and today I've got another large battle here for you. Today is the sort of Gallic Wars type scenario, um, although with the Roman units it's not quite Gallic Wars, so blah blah blah, but either way, it's Romans versus barbarians once again, and that's because I have got some new units for both sides actually, as you may notice. I managed to install the UCM mod um, for tabs, which has given me some more customization, mostly for shields, which is the main thing that I wanted. So I've made some more units using the new customization options that I have. And I also just made some general new units. So for the Romans here, we have got some Triarii and some Legionaries, pretty standard stuff. So we've got a 9x3 of Legionaries here with the Centurion, with some Velites at the back, and then we also have the signifier there as well, and then we've got the Triarii here along with the Centurion, again 9x3 of Triarii along with the signifier and Velite missiles. And then we have got, over on this flank, we have got some barbarian warband, some warband mercenaries, just sort of, Gallic, Brittonic, Celtic warriors that are in the pay of Rome. And these guys are 9 again, I think. Yeah, it's a 9x2 of warband, along with 9 mercenary Celtic axemen. And then we've got a signifier, and then we've also got some Gallic hunters at the back here as well. Just 5 of them, just giving some slight missile defense against the barbarian horde. And then we've got the first new unit, and the only new Roman unit in this battle, which is the armoured Legionaries. These guys here, they're just up-armoured variants of the Legionaries, so they've got some extra shoulder armour, and they've got some more leg armour here, as you can see. There's nothing else different about them. They cost a bit more than regular Legionaries because they have more health than a regular Legionary, but otherwise they don't do any more damage. They just have more health, and they've got the regular old Centurion there to lead them. So yeah, they're just armored Legionaries, sort of based off of the Rome 2 armored Legionaries. And then we've got some auxiliary archers back here as well. So they're sort of like the second line of defense for the Romans. And then we have got the legate along with his praetorians and the praetorian centurion and the final Roman eagle at the back there. So yeah, that's just your standard legate and bodyguard unit. So that's for the Romans. Now, going up against them, we have got the barbarian horde, and we can't expect the Romans to win completely against the barbarians. This guy's not even facing them. But yeah, we can't expect them to win against the barbarians as easily as you might expect, because of the new units. But for the main part, the barbarians here, it's an 18 by 3 deep line of both Celtic warriors and mercenary Celtic warband, because I just wanted to give them a bit of colour difference, rather than just having a whole line of uniform barbarian infantry. I decided to mix them up with Celtic warband mercenaries, because the mercenaries have got slightly different stats. They're slightly worse than the barbarian warband, the regular Celtic warriors, and also they just generally look different, so it gives the units a bit more variety. And then supporting them, they have got some Celtic skirmishers and some mercenary Celtic skirmishers. I don't know if that's actually what I called them. No, mercenary Celtic skirmishers. That is what I called them. And then Celtic spear throwers. Yeah, so they're just regular old Celtic spear throwers. And once again, I mixed in some mercenaries in there because the mercenaries have got a slightly different attack speed, so the javelins are going to be less uniform than the trained Roman velites, which is just going to loose them off. Generally, in time, the barbarians are going to be sort of scattered everywhere. And then on this flank, excuse me, on this flank we've got some Germanic axemen, and then we have got some mercenary Celtic axemen as well. And then we've also got some more spear throwers at the back there as well for a little bit of extra defence. And then we have got some just a little bit more of spearmen over here. But the axemen are really what's going to push through, really. The Germanic axemen are one of the better units for the Celts up until this point. And then, yeah, I've also, oh yeah, I forgot, the Romans may actually lose this quite badly. I'm being honest here. The Romans may not actually win this. So yeah, they've also got some standard bearers as well, which are just going to help them charge forwards. Then we've got some Celtic long swordsmen. I can't remember what exactly I called them, but yeah, these guys are just Celtic swordsmen. Big, heavily armoured, bit like Galloglass, but not as heavily armoured. They're actually pretty lightly armoured. They're big glass cannon units, but yeah, they just have big swords, big two-handed swords, and they're just going to sort of chop up the Romans. Now, the new units, which are these guys here, wearing chainmail. Wearing chainmail with Celtic helmets and the best Celtic shields I can do. These are Celtic noblemen. Sort of like again, going off of sort of the Rome 2 units. Yeah, Celtic noblemen. They are elite units, elite infantry. They are better par to par than regular legionaries. They may actually be better than armoured legionaries as well, but I'm not sure about that. I haven't really tested them out against each other like that. But yeah, Celtic noblemen here, which are coming in as backup, and they are going to be a bit late backup as well because they don't have the effect of the banners here. So yeah, they're not going to get into the fight as quickly. They're sort of like second line support units. Again, how like in Total War you would keep your more elite units back whilst the cheaper units go and grind up against the enemy, I guess. But yeah, Celtic noblemen here. They've got their capes, they've got some gold denotations. And then we've got the Celtic chieftain and his oath sworn. Yeah, I mean you can call them whatever you want, but I've called them oath sworn. They're basically better units than better variants of the Celtic noblemen. They are essentially Praetorians. They've got their longer broadswords, Celtic longswords, and again they've got Celtic shields, chainmail, more decorated helmets, and then the chieftain here with his round shield and etc. So yeah, he is the final layer of defence for the Celts, and he's going to be coming in later, the same way as the legate and his bodyguards come in as a last resort. So the Romans are outnumbered. They are also outnumbered slightly in cost. The Romans are outnumbered by like 4 people, by 4 guys, and they are outnumbered by about 200 or so gold. So yeah, the Romans, being perfectly honest here, the Romans may easily lose this. This flank's going to collapse. It's going to be down to the main bulk legionary force and the new armoured legionaries and the legate to really carry this. I did scatter in the mercenaries to try and weaken the Celts a little bit, because I know that the Oathsworn and the Celtic noblemen, they are 210 and 170 compared to legionaries 120, 150 and 240 for the Praetorians. So yeah, according to cost and according to stats, they are superior in terms of noblemen compared to legionaries or even armoured legionaries. And yeah, the mercenaries are just going to collapse against the Celtic horde because they're just mercenary units. But yeah, so with that said, it should be a good battle. So yeah, let's get into this. So yeah, the Celts are going to charge forwards, obviously. The Velites are going to ready their missiles, the Celtic skirmishers, and everyone are going to charge forwards thanks to the banner bearers. There they go, charging in. And there goes the Celtic skirmishers, throwing their missiles, but really they shouldn't do all too much. The javelins of the Velites are going in, and there goes the Gallic hunters, firing away. There goes the foolish leaps of the barbarians as they charge in with the mercenaries, and the legionaries are charging back. Well, they're you know, doing their thing. Some armoured legionaries are actually getting involved as well. A lot of the armoured legionaries are getting involved. I didn't realise that. But yeah, the two lines are now going to clash together. There we go. And some of the skirmishers are also charging forwards because, you know, barbarian horde. And yeah, the mercenaries over here, the Roman auxiliary mercenary Gallic infantry, are definitely not going to withstand the Germanic axemen. They're already getting involved with the hunters here. There's an axeman doing his thing. We've got a Roman. There's actually a small amount of Roman mercenaries here, which are facing off against the Celts here. Axeman versus Axeman, Warband versus Warband. Over at the main line, it sort of devolved a little bit. I was expecting the Romans to sort of keep their formation a little bit more, but well, we'll have to see. There goes a regular legionary there. Let's see if we can't find an armoured legionary in here somewhere. I think they're more in the back here. Yeah, there's the armoured legionary centurion, sort of getting involved, pushing his men forwards. There's the armoured legionaries doing their thing against the Celtic warriors, because the Celtic warriors should be outmatched completely by the oh dear, they should be outmatched by the armoured legionaries. But yep, here comes the remaining armoured legionaries coming to defend the velites. Oh my god, some people just went flying there. But yeah, the Germanic axemen obviously and most of the warband have broken through the Roman lines with not inconsiderable casualties, but in general though definitely not as much. Here comes the axemen as well, or the swordsmen rather, and here comes the noblemen. Here comes the noblemen, and the oathsworn are also going to be getting involved as well. So yeah, the second line of the Celts are getting involved. The Romans have, for the most part, cleaned up a large amount of the Celts, and there's still quite a few Romans left. We've got Germanic axemen here fighting off against an armoured legionary, clashes against his shield, and yeah, the oathsworn and the noblemen are starting to get involved, and yeah, the flank over there is pretty much fallen as I expected. We still have a centurion here, very nice. In comes one of the remaining armoured legionaries. We've still got 3 armoured legionaries back there, and we have got the auxiliary archers. There they go, firing away. Not sure exactly how useful they're going to be, but here's the remaining Celtic warriors. They're going up against, yeah, that guy's still alive? No, I don't think he is. Oh, javelin just went flying past. Yeah, the signifier is still here, obviously. He's front line right now. In goes a legionary, charging him, probably an armoured legionary, let's be honest. And here comes the nobleman. Here comes the nobleman charging in, and yeah, the reinforcements from the flank. We've got a centurion here, an armoured legionary charges in, trying to do his best for the emperor, and instantly gets cut down. Great work there. We do have a velite, who's definitely not going to be having too much luck. We also have a Celtic standard bearer as well. Amazing, he's still alive. Yeah, so in comes the remaining axemen and the Celtic chieftain, there he is, along with his oathsworn, who are now charging in, and in goes a skirmisher as well, because well, they all have the foolish jump because they're barbarians, so they want to get stuck into the Romans. And in goes the remaining armoured legionaries, involved with the Celtic noblemen, actually, these guys are. There's a dead nobleman there. So the Romans are actually starting to kill off some of the nobleman reinforcements, but this flank has sort of fallen. It's down to the remaining group of Romans in the centre to sort of defend the area. In goes the remaining armoured legionaries. There they go, finally getting involved, and the legate and his praetorians are just sort of watching his men well, deal with the barbarians. Oh, someone just went down there, but only to charge against an armoured legionary. There he is, trapped underneath, as he gets cut down savagely by a longsword of the barbarians. For the most part, most of the Celtic warriors are dead. We've still got a couple around. For example, these two guys here, they're still alive, and they also have a nobleman with them, who is getting involved with... Are those regular legionaries? Those are we have an armoured legionary and a regular legionary who's getting swallowed up by the Celtic horde. Yeah, I think for the most part the Romans are done with their centre line. We still have a legionary back here, and an armoured legionary. So we still have some of these guys here. And there's an axeman. We have a Germanic axeman there, and noblemen and oathsworn. I think oathsworn have a different style cape. They don't have a different colour cape, but they have a different style cape. And yeah, they all have the elite missile block as well. There's a nobleman with a velite. Lots of clanging of shields. There's still some Romans left alive though, over there. Armoured legionaries, for the most part. We have this is an oathsworn who's back here with the velites, and there's a Celtic skirmisher. Yes, because he has the two-tone shield. So yeah, Celtic skirmisher over here. Not sure what's going on over here. I think there's a Roman trapped under there, who the Celts are trying to get to. Got a nobleman. We have a mercenary warband, and the chieftain, and a couple of long swordsmen. Yeah, there's a Roman trapped under there somewhere. As for the main line again, pretty much what you see is what you get. Got some legionaries. We've got some velites still alive over here, doing their best. I mean, I don't think the legionaries are really going to be able to withstand the nobleman who's over there. Is that a nobleman? No, that's an oathsworn. No, that is a nobleman. That is a nobleman, because you can tell from the amount of jewellery he's wearing. But yeah, there you go. He just takes down a velite. There he goes, dying. The remaining Romans have been enveloped, I do believe. They've been encircled, enveloped. I think it's just a velite or two. Yeah, as in charges some Celtic warriors, and yet in comes a nobleman. Yeah, they're all charging, and look at them go. I'm surprised the velite is still alive after this. I'm perfectly honest. In comes another one, and he's still alive. And another shield bash, and he's finally died. There we go. He just couldn't withstand it. And yet in comes even more Celtic infantry. Oh, armoured legionary. Still alive. Amazing. I'm not sure how he's stayed alive and how he's got over there, but over here he is. We've got a Celtic warrior down there. Got a skirmisher there. Oh, takes a bit of friendly fire onto his shield there, as the legionary is now on the floor. Blocks the shit. Oh, unfortunate. He blocked a javelin, but then he got another one, and there's a sword thrust for good measure. With that, yep, they're into the line of the auxiliary infantry, or rather the auxiliary archers, and that has brought the entire Praetorian Guard into it, and the legate. So there you go, the last charge of the Romans. They might do it, but honestly, there's a lot of noblemen and oathsworn around here, and they're probably, a lot of them are full health, or at least have a lot of health. Here's a Celtic swordsman, Celtic long swordsman, legate going for an upper thrust, as he, I think that was a nice parry there, as the Praetorians descend on him, really doing their best to defend the legate. Meanwhile, over here, the Praetorians are now getting involved with the first of the Oathsworn. This is a brand new battle for them. Getting involved with the noblemen and the Oathsworn and the chieftain. I mean, if they manage to kill the chieftain, then it will be deemed a win, because deemed a win for the Romans, at least in some capacity, because well, that'll be someone dead. Over here, we have a Celtic warband attacking a Praetorian. Not sure how well that's going to go for him, but he's doing it either way. Oh, nice parry there from the shield. Over here, the Celts have, well, the Praetorians rather, and the legate have not yet managed to deal with the long swordsman there, as the noblemen and oathsworn are dealing with the few remaining auxiliary archers. And oh dear, that's not good for the Romans. The chieftain has entered his berserk mode, so he's got a lot of extra attack, and he is invincible. And the legate has been descended upon, and he's not dead. He's not dead yet. He's doing his best though. Doing his best to back away by the looks of it, as the remaining Praetorians are still struggling to deal with 2 Celts. There you go, they finally killed the long swordsman, and the warband is still also trying to be dealt with by the Praetorian. Yeah, as you can see there, the chieftain is enraged, so yeah, he is invincible. He has got a lot of extra attack and a lot of extra damage. The Praetorians, they're still really interested in this warband for whatever reason, rather than, you know, the mess of Oathsworn, and there goes a Praetorian. Yeah, for some reason they are just really not interested in defending the legate, who is, I'm sure, dead at this point. No, he isn't. There he is. Just as I say that, I spot him. And the chieftain is no longer enraged. No, he isn't. So the Praetorians lost a couple, but I think they managed to weather it well enough. In comes a javelin, gets blocked by a Praetorian. I mean, if they can kill off the remaining Oathsworn and the chieftain and the nobles, they might have a chance, but it's not looking likely. The Praetorians are getting heavily outnumbered at this point because, yeah, there goes another one. It's just the legate and his 1 Praetorian left, and the remaining... Nope, the legate's dead. Legate's dead, everyone retreat. Our general has been killed. Yeah, it's just the signifier left, and I think this 1 Praetorian. But then after that it's pretty much no one. It's absolutely no one. It's just a case of this Praetorian doing his best. Parries a spear thrust rather from the warband, as in charges another nobleman who's actually got a bit of friendly fire stuck in his shield. Oh, the Praetorian takes a shield bash to the cheek. The signifier's down, so yeah, it is literally just this Praetorian left. The last hero of Rome kills off the mercenary warband as he blocks another few javelins. He's doing a lot of blocking. Look at him go. I think it's also friendlies though that are doing the blocking for the Praetorian. It's the chieftain. He's trying to get the final blow. In comes a skirmisher for whatever reason. Oh, and there he goes. I think an Oathsworn, no, a nobleman got the final hit. By the looks of that sword. Yeah, by the looks of that sword, I think the nobleman took the final shot. So it was close. It was very close. Closer than I thought. I thought going into this that the Romans had a decent chance at this, but then as I started looking over what I'd actually laid down against them, I realised that actually it may not be as even as I thought. Yeah, they did pretty well. Most of the original Celtic warband line is dead. I think actually all of them are dead. That's a spear thrower. We have 1 warband. We have 1 warrior, and that's it. So out of the original Celtic starting line, one of them's alive, and the rest of them are noblemen. None of the mercenaries, none of the Germanic axemen, none of the mercenary axemen, none of the long swordsmen either have lived to see the end of the battle, which is pretty good going for the Romans. As for the noblemen and the Oathsworn, well, there's a couple of long swordsmen for whatever reason all the way over here. As for the more elite Celtic units, I'm seeing 4 or 5 shields around here. So the Legionaries and Armoured Legionaries definitely did something against these chainmail armoured Celts. We got some more shields over here. We've got 1 over here, yeah, which is good. We've got this guy here who isn't dead, he's just fallen over. The Praetorians had a decent go at it. I mean, they killed off what was left of the warband and the axemen by the looks of it. And then we do have some noblemen, we have some oathsworn here. Got a long swordsman. This guy is not dead, and that's a nobleman. We have a dead nobleman there. So, the Praetorians did something. The Praetorian Centurion, I'm not sure what he was doing, but he's died over here somehow. Locked in combat with probably the horde. The horde that was left. As for the Celtic survivors, mostly it's just spear throwers. I don't know if they... Well, they will have suffered some... They will have suffered some spear throwing casualties, because how many's left here? Like 10? 12 maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So yeah, they suffered like maybe a third of their casualties in terms of spear throwers, because they do tend to charge in. They do tend to leap in as the barbarians that they are. And then as for their survivors, they've of course got the chieftain, which is a win for the Celts, and then they've got some oathsworn and some noblemen, and then of course that one warrior. I don't think there's anyone else really of note left alive under the pile. This is all just helmets and shields. Yeah. So it was a pretty big battle. This guy's got up. Look at him go, standing about. Yeah, it was closer than I thought. I'm going to be honest. I expected there to be more noblemen and oathsworn left compared to what there are. There's, I mean, there's a handful of them. There's probably at least 12 of them in there. But even so, compared to how many they had, I think it was a 9x3 block of noblemen, and then they had 9 oathsworn along with the chieftain. And if they only have, you know, like 12 of them left, that's pretty good going for the Romans compared to how many higher cost units the Romans had. I mean, the armoured legionaries are 150, yes. The Praetorians are 240, but then the noblemen and oathsworn are 170 and 210. So the Romans did pretty well in terms of you know, cost to losses, I suppose. But in the end, the Celts definitely won this battle, and they do, of course, have a few people trapped under bodies, such as that nobleman. But for the most part, this is all just dead Romans and dead Celts. But yeah, so there you go. That was a pretty fun battle, showing off some of the new units. So I'll thank you all for watching, and goodbye.